Let's take a quick tour of the Dutch garden, which is now transformed into early summer, and all of the spring bulbs are done blooming, and we have some other great color combinations coming. The first thing you can see are these irises, which are the tall bearded iris in the back of the border. Two different colors. I've got a purple one and a burgundy one, which the combination is very regal, very nice. In the front here, you can see I've got some lilies that are coming, some milkweed, which I'll let stay here for a while in the front of this border, and I'll pull them at the end of the season so that the butterflies have a place to lay eggs. And then I have two different kinds of lilies. One is a pink lily and one is a yellow lily in this front entrance. That's looking pretty good. As we walk into the garden, we can see I have my Delphiniums that are coming. Those are my Pride and Joy. They look a little yellow. Look, they had a little bit too much water, but I did give them a shot of blood meal for an organic fertilizer. They are starting to darken up a little bit. As you can see here, I always leave the greens. These were the daffodil and the tulip greens. I leave them and let them die off naturally so that all the energy goes into the bulbs and they will keep producing for many years to come. So as we go down this side of the garden, here is my very first Delphinium blossom. This variety of Delphinium is called Fantasia. I planted that from seed last year, so that's makes me pretty happy. They're doing better. You can see if we look at some of these. Let's see how they're yellow at the bottom and they're darkening up. I put some blood meal at the base about a week ago, so hopefully that works. And these irises smell absolutely amazing. Some of them are starting to fade back. When the irises are done, then I have these, I think they're pink. I have these pink lilies that are going to be coming right after. So tulips are first, and then the iris, and then the lilies. So I have succession planted flowers to take over once whatever is blooming is done for that season. And I got another batch of flowers that will be coming. So I have an oriental variety of lily here, and these dark green ones here are Asiatic. And this little area here is where I had a bunch of tulips. You can see the dying greens underneath, and then the bee balm I planted last year, put three little pieces and it spread really nice. It's going to be coming, and that's bright red when it comes into season. So that'll fill up this area. Again, getting a shot of those irises, which are absolutely stunning. Here I have a few different things going on. This here is a balloon flower, which has a couple weeks before that's going to come. Again, the bee balm. And then the pink flower there is a geranium. It's a perennial geranium. I don't know the variety, but it's just a perennial one. And coming up through the middle of that is a purple coneflower. So it kind of hitchhiked in when I transplanted from a different garden bed 3 years ago. In this area here, this is my Russian sage. I have lots of Russian sage, which takes over the garden around 4th of July and will go until frost. It's really nice. Deer won't touch it. It's just a nice flower. Then I had the alliums, you can see, which are now turning to seed. This variety is, anyway. Continuing down, here is another purple coneflower that's in there. And I have some balloon flowers in here. And this plant I need to get out of here. This is Loosestrife, or Loosestrife. It looks like a gooseneck, a white flower. It's pretty, but it's highly invasive and I need to get it out of there. And I got a couple other little delphiniums I planted back in there. I have kind of a blank spot here. I'm going to bring some other flowers in to fill in. I've got some other perennials I purchased. I'll have to move them into this area. As I go down, I've got another purple coneflower here. And here's some more lilies, some Oriental and Asiatic. Like I said, when the irises are done, these pink lilies are going to take over and give me lots of color. This little area of my garden here, this little section is from one of my daughters. She loved the balloon flowers, so I've got balloon flowers planted, some tall garden phlox, and then I have this woodruff I still need to get out of here. Sweet woodruff. This is another planting of Russian sage, which I put in the middle. Was where I had my alliums planted. And then this big plant here is my big delphinium. This is a Pacific Giant variety. So we'll see how that does. This has been in the ground. This will be its 3rd year, and it should be quite spectacular. And it's most likely a blue color. Whenever you're doing garden design, you want to have points of interest, and having a bench for people to sit is usually a good way to draw people into the garden. So in this area here, I've got some lilies, I have Liatris, I have some more delphinium. The pink that you see is Dame's Rocket, which is a natural wildflower for our area that I've transplanted into the garden. And then I have some hardy hibiscus, some creeping phlox, which is just finishing flower, and then this variety of geranium, which is a perennial geranium, hardy to zone 4. This one's called Johnson Blue. So this is a closer look at the Johnson Blue geranium. It is absolutely stunning. Color is amazing. So here's a closer look at the Buttercup. They're really delicate. They're very, very tiny flowers. If I put my hand here, you can see in contrast just how small these flowers are. Very dainty. As always, I'll do a pan view so I can show over time how this garden has changed. In the spring it looks pretty blank, and then it really fills in with hardly any open room. Got some open space I could still put some things in. But you get the idea. Color combinations are always a good thing to keep in mind. When I plant, I try to put things together that'll bloom at the same time, so it makes it look like a bouquet. Continuing down this side of the garden, I have a bird bath, which is another point of interest. Also gives the birds a place. It also gives birds a place to take a drink. And I had a deer come through, and so I just came out. They nibbled on my tall garden phlox, which won't kill it. It actually will make it propagate and produce even more flowers. It's just going to take a little bit for it to recover. So I just sprinkled some more of my Repelzol in here, which I haven't done in a while, so shame on me. So in this area I have all kinds of lilies, again the Johnson Blue geraniums, some Liatris in here, some purple coneflower. Actually, these are not purple coneflower. These are sombrero flowers. I think they're orange type of coneflower. And then the deer had came through and nibbled, like I said. And they nipped the top of my phlox. They love the phlox. So I came out and sprinkled the deer away, or the Repelzol. This is my poppy that I grew from seed last year. I am so proud of it. Look at the size of it. Look at the color. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to be collecting the seeds from this one to continue to do harvest my own seeds and go from there. But what a lovely flower. Very exciting for me. As I continue down, you can see I have more of that Johnson blue geranium. I kind of have it in the front of the border. Well, it depends on how you look at the front. So I have it on the edge of the border. This is also a variety of milkweed. I thought it had died off and it didn't make it through the winter, but yeah, milkweed's pretty hardy. So this one came back nice. I have some blank spots in here too. I'll probably fill in some other perennials. I've got some daylilies, which are orange. I have orange or red. I have some milkweed. This is a milkweed, which is going to be orange. I have these smaller lilies, which are red, and then the daylilies, which are burgundy, which they're just starting to bloom. Taking a closer look here. So these are my daylilies. I got one that already came. This is an Ozark sundrop in this section. This is an Asiatic variety. This is an Asiatic lily, which I think is dark red. We'll have to wait and see. Got a few of those. So this is the orange and red section of the garden where my husband, it's kind of for my husband who loves the oranges and reds. So as I continue down, that's, like I said, my husband's section. I have a little outcrop of tulips that are just finishing, and then we get into more of this is more of my garden here. So it's got almost all Russian sages. There's purple and a lily that I planted in there. I think it's a yellow lily, but it could be pink. I'm not sure. I can't remember. We'll have to wait and see. Then I've got, what else do I got in there? This is pretty much Russian sage and lilies. So we'll wait and see what it looks like. This is kind of the last section of the garden here. I've got some red Penstemon or Beardtongue in here. And then I've got some more lilies. I've got some more tall garden phlox, which I think is a bright pink variety, which I really like. And then this area I've got a bunch of tall garden phlox and some more lilies and different colors of tall garden phlox. Got some Loosestrife in here too that needs to go, and some Delphiniums that I've planted. You can see that this Beardtongue really gives a nice color. That burgundy color is just really a nice add to the garden. I'm going to try to find some other colors to fill in here as well. At the outside of this garden I've got some campanula, which has been growing profusely in another garden, and I need to probably bring some more, break it up some more. But looking forward to the next flush of blooms on the Dutch garden. So that is a look at the Dutch garden. If you enjoyed this tour, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share this content with others. Also check my garden tours playlist in the description below. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.